Morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Laili Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Guru Deva, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Help us to invigorate our bodies, minds, and souls, and to attune ourselves to thy cosmic energy, to thy magnetism, and to thy joy. We are thine, be thou ours. Om Shanti, Shanti. So friends, today I want to go over some of the exercises I taught you yesterday. And I was thinking every day I'll introduce one or two, and I'll also introduce one or two diet tips. They're all coming from this book of Paramahansa Yogananda Ji's, which is a great book to have. And I'll start with just a very brief reading from Master. Our thoughts, will, feeling, muscular strength, proper action of organs and glands all depend for their existence on the life force. Billions of body cells are kept alive and properly working through this secret vital power. The human body is surrounded by a halo or an aura of conscious cosmic energy. Through vibrations of cosmic energy, God's intelligence supplies our bodies with life force. The medulla oblongata, the mouth of God, is the antenna that receives energy from cosmic consciousness. So please stand now and let's do a couple of exercises together. First of all, let's just feel, what does prana feel like? Let's rub the hands vigorously and just feel between the hands, the tingling, the vibration, the life force is just flowing wonderfully there. And let's feel what that feels like inside the body. Let's take one arm, put the other hand under that elbow and tense your arm low. Now more, now more. Now can you do more until the arm is really vibrating? Great. Now relax, relax, relax. Put both arms out and feel there's a difference in the two. The one that you tense is likely to be lighter. It should be lighter than the other. Do the other side. Tense with will. Then relax, relax, relax. Both arms lighter. Your whole body will feel lighter. Let's do that walking exercise. I was doing that this morning a little bit as well. We want to, as we inhale, we want to walk 6 paces, and then we hold 6 as we hold the breath. We keep walking. And then as we exhale, we walk, and then we hold the breath out as we keep walking. So it's 6 counts walking as we inhale, 6 holding, 6 exhaling, and 6 with the breath out. Let me show you once, and then please join me with vigor. Okay. Holding, exhaling, keeping the breath out. Okay? Why don't you join me? Inhale. Hold 6. Exhale. Keep the breath out 6 counts. Inhale. Fill the lungs. Exhale. Inhale. Whole body's full of prana and light. Exhale. Get rid of toxins. Once more. Inhale. A breakfast of energy. Hold. Exhale. And keep the breath out. A wonderful exercise. Your body's applauding you for getting up and doing that. Now let's do another exercise we did yesterday. Any body part that's feeling unwell, tense, stiff, we're going to hold that part 10 counts, and with not a hard tension, but between low and medium. Now I worked on my shoulder yesterday, and honestly, it's so much better. And so let's try that. You decide what part you want to work on, and then just hold. Well, I'll keep the count. So tense, medium to low tension, holding, leave the breath out. Then relax. You can choose another part or the same part. I'm going to work on my other shoulder. Tense, hold the tension, hold the prana in those muscles, in those cells. Wonderful. Great. Let's do the exercise for headaches. I got some feedback that this really helps someone, and it's a great exercise. Let's bring one palm to the forehead and one to the medulla. Now inhale, and you don't want to press hard, just lightly press. Inhale, press lightly, and tense the top of the head lightly. Vibrate, top of the head lightly, hold, exhale. Let's try again. Inhale, press and tense, top of the head. I'm putting prana right there. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Press. Now gently tense the top of your head. Just a few seconds. And exhale. Now, let's do an exercise we didn't do yesterday for the brain. And this is just to charge the brain with energy, with ideas, with solutions. So this time we exhale and we just meet with medium, low to medium tension. We tense the whole head. So I'll show you once. We exhale and then just like that. Okay, so exhale, keep the breath out and tense. Vibrate and exhale. You don't overdo. Tense again. Medium, low to medium, whole head. Exhale. Relax, relax, relax. And one more time. With the breath out, tense, whole head, and exhale. Two more exercises. One for the eyes we did yesterday. We squeeze the eyes as, hold on, I want to make sure that we have the breathing right on this one. Master says here, exhale and hold the breath out. Okay, so exhale. Now squeeze the eyes, keep the breath out. Medium pressure, medium tension, hold about 10 counts. And exhale. Inhale, now exhale. Squeeze the eyes, hold. Bringing energy to the eyes. Exhale, inhale, exhale, hold, squeeze the eyes. Great. Now the last exercise, the most fun one I think, is we're going to inhale this time. We're going to hold the inhalation as we tense our whole body, holding low to medium tension up to 20 counts. Okay, so we did this yesterday, and I'll keep the count for us. So exhale first. Now inhale. Tense your body. Hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pop. Okay. Exhale. Then once more. Inhale. Tense your whole body, low to medium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Master said try that anytime you're feeling low energy, tired, fatigued, and you can feel it energizes your body right away. Let's hear Swamiji. It's a brief talk today because we have a subject to cover on Seva. So we'll hear Swamiji for about 3 minutes.
But the truth is that what we have to do is simply give everything, our failure, our success, our virtues, our flaws, all of these to God. It isn't as if we had to reach the point where on the one hand we abase ourselves and say, I'm no good. On the other hand, convince ourselves that we're good, so then we have something worthwhile to give to Him. In fact, we have to bring ourselves to the point where we see that we of ourselves really can't do anything at all, but that God can do anything He wants to if we allow Him and to use us, but not in a passive way. What we have to do is take the inspiration He gives us and the power He gives us and then use it. But always remember that it's His power, not our own. So an attitude of service is not an attitude of self-abasement. It's an attitude of offering yourself up to a much greater flow than your own self. To serve people is to be disappointed. To serve God is to be always fulfilled. If you serve people, they so often don't understand you. They so often take your motives for quite other than they really are. They so often don't respond in a way that is gratifying to you. They so often will use you and say, well, if you're willing to do this much for me, why not 10 times more? And they take advantage of you. So many things come in that show that there's some imbalance in your attitude because it springs from you. You can't let people treat you like a doormat. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to sometimes put on a show of aggression, but it mustn't be something that touches your heart. In your heart, you must always feel humble and surrendered to God. So what we're talking about when we speak of service is serving God in others and in Himself. Serving God is the most essential attitude because what it does is instead of building up your ego to a bigger and bigger wave, and the waves that clash together in violence in the storm are the tall waves. The small waves never have any trouble. They're always able to work harmoniously together, to flow harmonious together. They just sort of lap and chuckle happily together. It's when the storm happens and the waves get tall that you have the crashing waves and the breaking of ships and so on. So the more you push your ego up, the more you get into the violence and suffering that comes with excessive involvement in Maya, in delusion. But the more you can just let that go and just become humble and feel that you're serving God in everything that you do, just give it to God. Let it be His.
Good morning, friends. It's so nice to have some exercises to do because after that you feel like serving. You have more energy. You're not tired. You're not laying down on the couch. You feel like doing things. And this is what service is about. If we think of service as work, I'm doing that. Think of our work as just work. I'm doing that because I want to earn a paycheck. It's for me and my family. There's just not a whole lot of joy in that. Think of the creativity. Think of the inspiration, of the ways you can help others, of the ideas. I love new ideas and fresh energy and how we can do things and the creativity that comes from wanting to serve others. And I was remembering, I was talking with the Chennai group the other day, and I was remembering a wonderful story from there because I think at all of our centers, people are just so giving and so happy to serve. And I remember once I was there at one of their centers before the one they have now, and I used to stay in the back there, one of the rooms, and the devotees the temple was in the living room, and they would be there for hours doing the book table and, cleaning and doing the altar. and everything. And it would be late at night, like 11 o'clock, midnight or something. And one time I came out, I said, well, when do you people go home? And they said, what do you mean? This is our home. And they wanted to just keep the energy flowing and make the place beautiful. And I was recalling another wonderful story of a devotee here in Gorgon. When we were cleaning up the basement, and many of you went to the B10 by 8 house, that the ashram we used to have there. And so there we were, and we were changing that into a little center. And there were books stored there before, all kinds of things. And there were, it was really dirty. And so I thought, now who can I call to help me? So I called one of my dear friends, Jayanti, but I didn't know her well then. But she came, and boy, we went for hours just cleaning that place. It was filthy. There were cobwebs all over. And I thought after that, I said, this woman will never come back again. I know she would never want to help, but she did. And now she's head of the center with some other devotees. But that was the spirit, and that's the spirit of Ananda. What can I do? How can I help others? I remember once Swami Kriyanandaji was coming to visit here, to visit India, and we were getting his house ready, and there were so many things to do, and he had landed at the airport. There were still things to do, and I just went down the phone list, and I called somebody who, I didn't know this gentleman that well, but he says, oh, Dhyana, I'll help you do anything. And he came over, he had a beautiful, clean white shirt, and, he looked very nice. And I was still in my work clothes. And so he came, and I said, I don't know if you're used to doing this kind of work, but this is the work we have. And I said, can you just help me move these plants up to Swamiji's office, and these plants we need to move to the garden, and these plants we need to move to the bedroom, and these plants, and he had that beautiful white shirt on, but he looked at me and says, of course. And I've always really, really appreciated that, because it was a situation where who else was going to do it? And he came forth and helped with that. And that's just the right spirit. And with Swamiji was always, what can we do? How can we help? Okay, we can start communities. Okay, we can get centers going. Okay, we can start a bookstore. We can write books. We can write music. He always had ideas of how. You think of the great scientists, the inventors. You think of the composers with their music and all the things that people offer to the world. You think of Mahatma Gandhi. Did he say, no, I'm going to work now? Of course he's going to work. He gave his heart and soul. And in anything we're doing, we need to feel how we can give our heart and soul to that, because it's not just for us. Of course we're blessed. The channel's blessed by what flows through it, Yoganandaji said. But the blessings, just think if everybody did everything for themselves. And so the blessings go out to the world. So with Swamiji was always like that. And then I was remembering Nayaswami Jyotish, he started the first business at Ananda. We didn't have jobs for people. He said, well, let's get a business going. And interestingly enough, he had a reading with a Nadi reader who said, oh, I see you had some seva you were doing here and at this time. And Jyotishji said, no, I had a business, an incense business, incense and oils. And then the man said, no, that wasn't a business. That was for your guru. That was seva. And isn't that wonderful? And so he started that business. Why? He employed many people in the community. Parvati, Nayaswami Parvati, she started Master's Market. Why? People need to eat. So she went and got boxes of food, fruit, and started the market that way. And other people, I was thinking of the man who invented, the first person invented swipe, how you just can message without with keeping your finger down, like cursive. And he lived at Ananda Village, lives there now. But why did he do it? He did it for people who message a lot so they can have that benefit. I was thinking of in Ananda Village, the new temple, the builders. Did they build it? No, people should look at me. I built the temple. No, they built that temple of light so we can give light to the world, and the tulips and the tulip garden, the planters. They're planting the tulips and all those just got to get online and see. Just Google Crystal Hermitage Gardens. 17,000 tulips. Why did they plant those tulips? To show, give love and light to the whole world. It's really just very beautiful. I remember Swamiji was writing all this music and beautiful music. I'm sure you've heard. And at one point, there was orchestra pieces. And so somebody, a very good musician, David Eby, you can see him on TED Talks, by the way. He had a great talk on music. But he said, why don't we play Swamiji's music? Why don't we get an orchestra started? So everybody said, okay, let's pull our instruments out and get an orchestra. You see what I'm saying? It's not big things. It's just thinking, what needs to happen? What can serve people? Now, what are the ways that we do this best? And I have to say, since we did the exercises today, I might go a couple of minutes, 5 maximum over today, but what are the right attitudes? So the first attitude is willingness. There's got to be, I want to do it. And you might think, yeah, sure, I want to do it. But you want to do what you want to do, basically. It's not that you want to do everything. There's things that you have the energy to do. And Swamiji gives in the Raja Yoga book a great example of if you've had people over to your house for dinner, let's say. Okay, so they stay late, and then everybody's gone, and there's no servants, or the servants have gone, or whatever. And you go in the kitchen, and you look at the dishes, and you just go, "Oh my God, I'm not doing those dishes." Nowadays, everybody's doing dishes and mopping the floor and sweeping and cleaning, and it's very good for people. And so you say, "Oh, I'm not doing that," and you say, "I'm too tired." And the next morning, you've slept 8 hours at least. You get up and you look in the kitchen. Oh no, you still can't do it. Now why? You don't want to do it. But then someone calls you, an old friend who's only in town for a short time, and they call and say, oh, come on, let's go and go for a walk or go for a coffee or something. And you just say, yeah, I'm coming. I mean, suddenly you have all this energy because you want to do it. The willingness has to be there. And I remember one time I wrote, I didn't write, Jayaji wrote, but I was in charge of compiling one of the Kriya Yoga books, getting the cover and getting it all printed. And so I did that, and that was the first Kriya book we put out. I was just so pleased with that book. And then I got word that Swami Priyanandaji didn't like the cover on the book. And I thought, what does it matter? What's the cover? We've got the book. I'm in a totally wrong attitude. We had 2,000 of those books printed. And so I wrote to Swamiji, and totally unwilling, and I gave him all the reasons, the book of excuses, what I've been telling you, all the reasons why we had to keep that book. We had 2,000 copies. We spent this money on them, whatever. And now what happened? I heard nothing back for weeks, at least 2 weeks. And every day I was sweating more. Oh my gosh, I'm out of tune. And so then finally I wrote to Swamiji and I said, Swamiji, we can do that. We can change the books. I myself would take the covers off, put the new covers on. What cover do you think? 5 minutes, he wrote me. Within 5 minutes, Dhyana, this is a good thing to do. But I had to be willing to do it. And then the energy flowed, and from that, 7 more books came. Do you see? Because the energy was there. So the willingness has to be there. And secondly, there has to be, you can't see it as a work. It has to be seen as something that I'm offering. And Master taught one of the disciples this, one lady, he gave her things to do. And he said, now remember, I've told you before, you work too hard. Don't work so hard. And she says, okay, Master, I won't work hard. So she said, well, he must mean I shouldn't do as much. So she started taking her jobs away. So he gave her more. And he said, but I told you you're working too hard. And she's, what does he mean by this? So she says, okay, Master, I won't work so hard. So she takes more of her jobs away. He gives her more. He says, I told you you work too hard. Finally, she says, Master, why don't we change this word work for service. And he says, now you've got it. All your life, you've been thinking work, work, work. It only exhausts you. If you think service, you'll have twice as much energy and get everything done. I remember one time Swamiji called me because I lived near his house. It was 8:39 at night. And he said, Dhyana, will you come and help me? It was unpack his suitcase. It was something. And I said, yes, I'll be right down there. I raced down there. And Swamiji said, oh, thank you so much for coming. I said, Swamiji, only if I were dead would I not come down here and help you. And he said, relax. He was really saying, where's the joy? So that's another quality. Don't be so stiff that I'm going to do it. I'm the only one who can do it. And it's a service to the mankind. And it just, there's no joy in that. It's just a lot of ego. And so keep yourself free and open and happy to do what you're doing. And finally, it should be something that you have that energy and attunement to save us all day. It's not just sometimes, no, I go to the Sangha, I'm Seva, I'm doing Seva. I go home, I do nothing. My older brother, when we were growing up for years, because he was older than me, I think at least he thought he could boss me around, but I was the real boss in the family. But my brother would sit there on the couch or whatever, and he would say, somebody ought to be getting the ice cream out, or somebody ought to be making the popcorn, or somebody ought to turn off the light. He was never the somebody. It was always somebody else. But the thing is, if we always feel, why not? Sure, I can do it. Sure, I can help. So Swamiji told us about this man who was, he said, my day begins when I come home after work. I take my bath and then I go to my meditation room. That's when my real day begins. And Swamiji thought, what a waste. It should be all day. All day I'm in tune with God. All day I'm serving my guru. All day. And as you do that, you feel through japa, do a pranayama in the middle of the day, take a picture of master, play the music, and just keep yourself alive. I just will close with this beautiful thought about our work, Paramahansa Yogananda Public Charitable Trust in Brindaban. It's a beautiful work. If you don't know about it, please go online and find out about it. I spent the last, 3 years at least going there regularly, helping out. It's so heartfelt. The thing I love the most, I met many of those ladies. There's 4,000 widows who we serve. They were begging on the streets before we went in and started serving them. We have care homes. There are many ladies who live there. And the others we feed and clothe and everything. I met someone who was living in a box, a wooden box. I was just shocked. And we finally, through love, convinced her to come live in one of our homes. And I met one, I never seen places like this. There was one, like a hovel. And I went there with the workers, our Paramahansa Yogananda workers. And they say in Vrindavan, if you want something done, look for the people in blue, because they wear blue outfits. And so we went there, and one lady could barely walk. She came out of that like a cave. The other one was blind. And when they knew we were there, the smiles came. Now, why is that? Of course, we give food. Of course, we give clothing. We give whatever for cooking. We give everything. But the most important thing, and this is the most important thing of anything you do, is we give heart. We give love. We give God. And those women have changed. The lady, it took her a year, the woman in the box, to finally say, okay, I trust you. I can feel the love. And she came to stay with us. So as you change your situation, go from work to seva, don't forget, God is behind everything, as Swamiji said. And what does God want to serve? What does God want to put out? More than anything you do, caring and love. And those things are what change people. I want to close just now with just a couple of tips for diet from Master. This is 4 or 5. Do not eat too much white sugar. The ingestion of excessive quantities of sweets causes intestinal fermentation. Remember, foods prepared with white flour, such as white bread, white flour gravy, as well as polished rice, and too many fried foods are injurious to your health. White flour acts like a glue and obstructs the expulsion of bodily waste materials. Another one, do not drink water with meals. This habit destroys the shape of the body. Eating too much at one meal followed by lack of exercise develops the body disproportionately. And another one, this one I use every day, at least the past 2 years. The juice of one lemon or lime diluted in warm water without sugar and drunk alone is known to be very good for the liver, spleen, intestines, and kidneys. Lemon juice taken daily is known to disinfect the physical organs. The acid in the lemon destroys any undesirable germs that get into the body through food. Another, doctors say that ice cold water lowers the temperature of the stomach 30 degrees. Then the stomach must warm up again to resume its normal activities. This is shocking and disastrous to the weak digestive power of an individual. And just 2 more. Do not drink water or eat right before going to bed. Sleep well covered with windows wide open, both summer and winter. Take long walks in the morning, especially at night before going to bed. Inhale and exhale deeply while walking, like what we did on the exercise. The last one is wonderful. Smile for health. There is no better reviving tonic than smiles. There is no better ornament than a genuine smile. There is no beauty greater than the smile of peace and wisdom glowing on your face. God bless you and have a wonderful day.